Welcome to my series on prayer and to learning from Elijah. And at last we arrive at the mountain today. But getting here has been very much part of what we're learning about prayer, the process of prayer. Elijah starting with exhaustion and depression, finding rest and refreshment in God, the journey that God taking us to a new place, in some sense taking us back to our roots, but in doing so taking us to a new place in our relationship with Him. And so we come to the mountain. At last Elijah reached Mount Sinai, the mountain of God, and he spent the night there in a cave. While Elijah was on Mount Sinai, the Lord asked, "Elijah, why are you here?" Elijah answered, "Lord God all-powerful, I have always done my best to obey you. But your people have broken their solemn promise to you. They have torn down your altars and killed all your prophets except me. And now they are even trying to kill me." And what seems important there is that God is drawing out Elijah's complaint. And I think we find as Christians very often, as people of faith, it's difficult to complain to God, because God is wonderful and awesome. But life is not always wonderful and awesome. And really, it's going back to that honesty. God is calling out a deeper honesty from Elijah. He's saying, what are you doing? Why have you come? Well, in some sense, because God called him to, but there was a reason for that. What's going on? And God draws these open questions, asks these open questions to draw things out of us, to get in touch with what is actually going on. So I would encourage you to take time to get in touch with your gripe with God. What is your gripe with God? And don't feel shy about that. It's important. What is your gripe with God? What could God have done, or what has He done that really is so difficult for you? Get there. Because as you pour out your gripe, you may even be able to hear some of the things that are going on as you speak. As Elijah was saying it. He's putting it very much in terms of what people have done to God. But I think it's really about, it's about me. It's about, I'm feeling my cause is not being justified. And I'm the only one left. Oh, poor old me. Easy to be aware of someone else's gripe. Much more difficult to be aware of our own gripe. And we can have a gripe for all sorts of reasons. They may be personal. They may be about the world. I was reading yesterday about that age-old question. If God is so good, why does He allow such awful things to happen in our world? And there are answers, but I think in the end it's one of those things that you can't fully answer. It's just one of those givens. And we need to face that and present that to God. Pour out to Him the injustice, the cruelty. Maybe that's the cruelty to someone near you, or things you've heard about in other parts of the world. God is not offended. He delights in our honesty. So maybe as an exercise you could write down, what is my gripe with God? And spend a bit of time. Still yourself, and then with a piece of paper and a pencil or pen or whatever it is, write down your gripe with God. And I would encourage you to keep that and just see how that changes and you go back to it. Is that the same, or have things changed? What is my gripe with God? I pray that you will find real honesty in pouring out your gripe, and find in some God's amazing way not neat answers, but ways to go on in the midst of that. Amen.